Now, Ryan, it's a gold out here in Ames. The home crowd hoping to provide more of that Hilton magic. The Cyclones looking to knock off unbeaten Kansas, and it's coming up next.
We've counted down to the new year. But the time for celebrating is long gone. Now it's time to work. We're keeping score, tallying up the wins, climbing up the rankings. It's a numbers game. This is when it really counts. 2011 Conference Tip-Off starts now.
You're watching Wednesday Night Hoops presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups as part of Conference Tip-Off. And here tonight from Hilton Coliseum, Big 12 basketball coming your way. The conference opener for number 3 ranked Kansas, and they will take on Iowa State. Kansas, one of 5 remaining unbeatens. All 5 teams in action tonight. And here's what's taking place. Ohio State just getting past Michigan on the road. Syracuse and St. John's. The Cuse goes on the road and wins. Later on, UNLV and San Diego State, and Duke taking on Florida State. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us. John Schaub, Hubert Davis. 6 straight years Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks have won this conference. They are undefeated, but here we go. It's the Big 12 opener. Things change during conference play, huh?
Well, there's a reason why Kansas is undefeated. They're outstanding defensively, and they've got great balance on the offensive end. Guys can score down low on the post, shoot the ball from the perimeter, but there's something different about conference play. Teams know know their strengths and their weaknesses. That's why it's going to think it's going to be a great game against a young Iowa State team trying to recapture that Hilton magic.
Yeah, Hilton magic indeed. This is one of the toughest places to play in the Big 12.
This place is crazy. This is the first time here, and an interesting fact, Danny Manning, the assistant coach from Kansas, 4 years at Kansas, never won here. Larry Brown as a coach, never won here. It's going to be a great atmosphere tonight.
All right, Star Watch time now, and Kansas unbeaten, but along the way things have changed, including the addition of Josh Selby.
Well, Josh Selby, I mean, he's a talented freshman that is still trying to find out his role offensively. Terrific in transition and shooting lights out from three-point range. And Deontay Garrett of Iowa State been given a bigger role offensively this year and has delivered. Terrific penetrator and passer that leads the Big 12 in assists.
Now for Kansas, it's not just Josh Selby, but the Morris twins. Bill Self says they are his best passers.
Well, offensively, I think these are the best big guys in the country. It's not even close. I mean, they can score on both blocks, score with either hand. They can score inside and out. And as you mentioned, terrific passers. The front line for Iowa State is going to have their hands full guarding those 2 big guys down low on the block.
Yeah, the natives of Philadelphia, Marcus and Markeith. Markeith a little bigger at 6'10", 245. Marcus 6'9", 235. Kansas coming into Hilton Coliseum. They're coming off an overtime win on the road at Chrysler Arena against Michigan. A hard-fought win, and they lost Travis Relaford, twisted his ankle in the first half, and Relaford's not going to play in this game. Mike Stewart, Kip Kissinger, Doug Simons are officials, ready to go. Jamie Vanderbeeken going up against Markeith Morris, and Kansas controls. This is Tyshawn Taylor.
Well, defensively, it's going to be interesting to see how Iowa State plays. We talked about they're thin in the front line. They're going to have to make Kansas shoot the ball from the outside, double team the post, get the ball out of the hands of Marcus and Markeith Morris down low on the block.
Now on the baseline, there's a block by Edgem. Kick to the corner, Selby gets a 3. Selby coming off a tough performance, 1 for 10 from the floor against Michigan and 1 for 7 from 3.
Well, he's been fantastic shooting the ball from the perimeter. Came into college known more as a slasher, a guy that's great in transition, but he has shown that he can knock it down from the outside on a consistent basis.
They get the foul on Markeith Morris, his first. Well, the first-year man, Fred Hoiberg, one of the most popular athletes in the history of the state, you'd have to say, the mayor as he is known. And he has taken over this program and led them to a 13-3 start.
Well, offensively for Iowa State, the key is for them to get the ball into the middle through penetration. You can see beautiful move by Vanderbeeken.
Jamie Vanderbeeken, they are not expecting him to do that. Normally a trail guy who will shoot the 3. And a rebound rebound pulled down by Christopherson. That's an area where Iowa State is concerned on the boards.
We talked about how thin they are in the front court. Can't really match up with the size of Kansas, but their guards also rebound as well. Jake Anderson averages 8 rebounds a game at the 2-guard position.
Edgham's 3 wouldn't go. Selby down low and 1. Markieff Morris absorbing the contact, and he'll go to the line. Markieff Morris continues to improve. Marcus gets more attention, but Markieff, an outstanding player.
Well, he does a terrific job getting space and getting position down low on the block, and that's what Iowa State cannot do. You cannot allow a player to catch the ball right there into the lane. Every time he catches the ball, he's going to get fouled, he's going to score. They've got to do a better job of making him catch the ball 1 or 2 steps outside the lane.
That last foul on Jamie Vanderbeek in his first. And early on, the Jayhawks leading at 6-2. A little bit of pressure here.
After made baskets defensively, Kansas will play a 1-2-2 press, trying to create turnovers, get into the open court, and also take time off the clock for Iowa State offensively.
Yeah, they're a backcourt violation. Bill Self, in his 8th year as the head coach at Kansas, won the national title in 2008. And since he started in 2003, no school has a better record than Kansas. Feed down low, good hands by Vanderbeek, knocking it out of bounds. And Kansas retains possession. Iowa State lost their Big 12 opener on Saturday against Nebraska. Lost it by a point, 63-62.
They've had a number of close losses against Cal, Northern Iowa. All 3 of those games, they were tied with 1 minute to go. So they're 13-3. They very easily could be undefeated right now.
Anderson, Christopherson. And the rebound yanked down by Marcus Morris. Tyrell Reed feeds the post. Marcus Morris. And rattles it home.
John, they can't guard them down low on the post, and so they're going to have to make a couple decisions. Either double team, down low on the block, on catch, or play zone. They don't have the front line to be able to stop them down low on the block.
Turnover there, Tyrell Reed, Tyshawn Taylor, and up ahead, it's Marcus Morris, the throwdown, and it's timeout, Iowa State. So that's one of the things as a road team in a tough environment, you like to get out to the early lead and quiet the crowd.
Well, I think the key to Kansas' success down low on the block is their position. I mean, they caught the ball, did a good job 1 or 2 steps outside the lane, but somebody else has to help him out. You can't guard him one-on-one and then in fast break. This is where I think Kansas can be great in transition. They've got a number of guys from top to bottom that can really run the floor and finish in transition.
Starting lineups, and first for Kansas, Tyshawn Taylor, Tyrell Reed, their best shooters, Selby, Marcus, and Markieff Morris. For Iowa State, Deontay Garrett bears watching. Christopherson and Vanderbeek can knock down the jumpers. Melvin Edgham, a very good freshman from Canada. Kansas on a 7-0 run. And Marcus and Markieff have accounted for all 7 of those points. Nice look inside. And there, Edgham finds Darian Anderson.
That's exactly what you want to do against pressure. You want to take the trap, get the ball out of the trap, and attack. And they did an excellent job of finding Jake Anderson underneath the basket.
Marcus Morris, soft touch there. Oh, nice move, Garrett. Speeding past Tyshawn Taylor and laying it in.
Yeah, Deontay Garrett, a fantastic penetrator. He's also an excellent passer, and that's going to set up Vanderbeek and also Christopherson from the 3.
Vanderbeek rebounds the Markieff Morris miss. Deontay Garrett handling right here. You saw the explosiveness. He leads the Big 12 in assists, so distributes very well. Christopherson on the move, and underneath, Edgham is fouled. They get Marcus Morris with the foul. That's his first and second team foul in the Jayhawks.
I really like offensively what Iowa State is doing. They're putting the ball on the floor and really penetrating, not settling for contested jump shots. And you mentioned this freshman, Melvin Edgem, really good slasher, excellent defender. And on the offensive end, he's shown that he can shoot from three and also put the ball on the floor. So the future is bright for Iowa State.
Edgem, another one of those Canadians we see making their way into the college game. I got to look at a couple of good ones. Corey Joseph and Tristan Thompson last night for the Longhorns. The Longhorns will add Mike Kabongo next year, senior out of Findlay Prep.
It's been fun watching that Texas team, especially Tristan Thompson. Really runs the floor as a big guy, and exactly what Texas needed, a guy that could dominate down low on the block.
Taylor can't get the three. Rebound fought for. And Thomas Robinson comes away with it. He has just checked in. Taylor can't hit. Rebound Garrett. Up ahead. And that one intended for Edgem. And a timeout on the court. Kansas on the road. The Big 12 opener. Jayhawks leading by 4.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter. And in part by the all-new Volkswagen Jetta. It's great for the price of good. That's Das Auto.
Back here in Ames, Kansas leading by 4. Big day for Iowa State as they honored their great coach Johnny Orr earlier in the day, unveiled a big bronze statue, and Johnny fired up about it and had some fun talking to the fans.
You know, when I was here, Freddie, I want to tell you this. Danny Manning never won a game in Hilton Coliseum.
Johnny Orr, 84 years young, a sports bar as well. And there is Danny Manning, never won here. Larry Brown never won here. It's a tough place to play.
Led Iowa State to 6 NCAA tournament appearances. And not only was he a great coach at Iowa State, he was a great coach at Michigan as well. He has all-time wins as a coach for the Wolverines and took them to the final game and lost to Indiana in 1976, the last team to be undefeated through their entire season, Indiana Hoosiers in '76.
Ball on the deck as Robinson comes up with it. Taylor, bounce pass Reed. And a travel.
You see Kansas defensively getting down low on the floor, and as I said before, John, this team can be great in transition. They have so many guys from their point guard to their center that can really run the floor. And Coach Self has talked about picking it up better defensively, creating steals, because they have a lot of depth at the guard position. They'll be able to do that, make it hard for opposing point guards to bring up the ball.
They average 84 points a game, and as a team lead the nation in field goal percentage, 53%. Vanderbeeken not able to hit. Rebound ripped down by Selby. Kansas moving the ball well. Selby can't hit. Edgem with the rebound. Garrett tries a three. Selby into the paint. Hangs and hits.
That's what I want him to do more. I think a lot of times he settles for that jump shot. He can put the ball on the floor and take it to the rim. And there's Iowa State after a made basket, getting the ball in transition.
Edgem with that bucket following the Anderson miss. A 4-point game here in Ames. Robinson faces up and a travel. We talked about wanting to see more of this.
Well, I mean, he's shooting a great percentage from three-point range, but I like to see him put the ball on the floor and create. He can do that. He can get into the lane and really make some great shots. And I like to see him drive more, get to the free throw line. You mentioned his struggle against Michigan, 1 for 10, but one of the things that get you out of shooting slumps is putting the ball on the floor and getting to the charity stripe.
He had 5 points against Michigan, already has 5 in this one. Reed and Anderson fight for the rebound. Kansas basketball as Tyrell Reed inbounds. And Elijah Johnson handling here. Iowa State 0 for 5 from 3. Morningstar to Little. Grady Morningstar gets that one. Morningstar, the senior from Lawrence, Kansas.
And that's a great sign for Kansas because Brady Morningstar has been really struggling to shoot the ball from three-point range. We mentioned how well they shoot. 4 guys over 40% from three-point range, and he's not one of them.
Garrett to the rim, and they get the block underneath. And that foul on Mario Little.
You see Iowa State trying to get the ball into the middle, and Deontay Garrett, we mentioned before, a great driver, a great penetrator, getting into the lane, drawing foul, and getting to the free throw line.
Well, Mario Little coming off the court. Little just coming back from suspension. December 16th, he was suspended indefinitely following an arrest on charges of battery, criminal damage to property, and criminal trespassing. He sat out 6 games, reinstated Monday after applying for a diversion program. It is common for young adults with no priors. So Little back with the team. Bill Self saying he thought that that was the best course of action.
And he's going to get some extended playing time because Travis Relaford is not playing. He injured his ankle in their last game against Michigan. And one of the things that I think missing in Kansas's lineup is a natural small forward, and Mario Little fills that role.
Lane violation gives Iowa State the extra chance. Garrett makes the most of it. And there's a rebound by Edgin. Now Darian Anderson. And they get a foul underneath. Calvin Godfrey was checked in with the offensive foul. And again, Iowa State very thin. Fred Hoiberg telling us they'd play 7 and even at times 6 players. Godfrey, one of the guys he uses off the bench.
They play their starters, big minutes, and you mentioned coming off the bench at the guard position, Bubu Paolo, and then Calvin Godfrey in the front court position. That's pretty much it.
Oh, and one. Nicely done, Marcus Morris.
You know, John, we talked about the versatility offensively of Marcus Morris, and catches the ball at the top of the key and has the ability to put the ball on the floor, create contact, and also finish inside the lane. And he is having a fantastic year, a guy that can dominate down low in the post, but he can also be effective from the perimeter as well.
Foul on Edgin, his first for Iowa State. 3 team fouls on each side. So the Jayhawks leading this one by 7 as we close into the 12-minute mark. Hanging underneath is Anderson, can't hit. And then stepping in, it's Edgin. Garrett. You can just feel it, this place looking for a reason to explode. Morningstar not able to answer. That one tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay with Kansas. Kansas leading by 4. As we take a break, well, folks, if you've ever watched an Iowa State football game here in Ames, you might ask yourself, who is Jack Trice? We'll tell you the unbelievable story when we return. Across the street from Hilton Coliseum is the home of the Iowa State football Cyclones, Jack Trice Stadium. Jack Trice was the first African-American athlete at Iowa State. As a member of the 1923 football team, Trice played in exactly one game at the University of Minnesota. The night before the game, he wrote a letter to himself while apart from the team at a racially segregated hotel, saying that the honor of my race, family, and self is at stake, and my whole body and soul will be thrown recklessly throughout the field. Trice suffered massive injuries in that game and died as a result just days later. Jack Trice never saw Ernie Davis win the Heisman Trophy or heard Martin Luther King's dream, but his spirit is immortalized here in Ames. Back here at Hilton, Wednesday Night Hoops presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and Kansas leading on the road by 4. Hubert, what has stuck out to you so far in this game?
Well, when you look at Kansas, their strength of being able to throw the ball down low to Marcus and Markieff Morris. I love their passing ability, their versatility to play at the high post and also put the ball on the floor. But I have really loved watching Kansas get out in transition. And this is a team that starting to find themselves offensively and miscommunication defensively, and found Brady Morningstar right underneath the basket, out of bounds play underneath.
Foul underneath, and again they get Calvin Godfrey. That's his second.
Kansas does a terrific job of getting good shots, out of bounds plays, but miscommunication defensively for Iowa State. And see the freshman Calvin Godfrey, 2 fouls, 2 offensive fouls, and a little aggressive down low on the block.
Fans wanted to travel, and there's a turnover. It'll go over to Iowa State.
Yeah, but see, I think that's a good turnover. Once again, Josh Selby put the ball on the floor. Instead of shooting that 3-point jump shot, which he's doing well this year, he put the ball on the floor and created. That's what Kansas needs from the perimeter, a guy that can create shots.
Christopherson handling. Vanderbeeken ball fake. That's a 2. Jamie Vanderbeeken shoots the 3 at 42%. Inside, and Markieff Morris just too tough. And that beef down low, a lot to handle for Iowa State.
There's not much you can do if you're going to allow a post player to catch the ball inside the lane. So Vanderbeeken's got to do a better job. He's either got to front or make Marcus Morris catch it 1 or 2 steps outside the lane. That's too close. He will score every time.
Good save there by Godfrey after he couldn't handle the Deontay Garrett pass. 10 on the shot clock. Anderson. Tyshawn Taylor. Morningstar. Good look inside. Marcus Morris rebounds his own miss, and a travel.
I mean, that's where Kansas wants to get the ball down low on the block, and look where he catches the basketball. Either you got to front him, or you're going to have to double team, or you're going to have to play zone. Iowa State defensively needs to do a better job guarding the post. They need to come up with a plan, because the plan right now early in the first half is not working.
Garrett beats pressure, goes all the way, and lays it in. Deontay Garrett, coast to coast, he's got 9. Elijah Johnson beating Thomas Robinson. And it'll go the other way, an offensive foul. Little hook right there.
Well, once again, terrific post position for the Kansas big guys, and no need to stick out your arm, no need to create separation. You have the ball exactly where you want it. Robinson made a mistake. All he had to do was put up a nice right-hand jump hook. He would have had another basket down low on the block.
And there, Boo Paulo, who has just checked into the game, stepped on the sideline. That's a turnover. Paulo, who is an Ames native. Fans don't like the call there from Kip Kissinger, who is standing on the sideline. Paulo's a walk-on. And he and Godfrey are the 2 that Fred Hoiberg will play off the bench. And underneath, they got Robinson again. Well, action continues on ESPN's Thursday night showcase. First, 7 Eastern, it's Purdue taking on Minnesota. Then 9 Eastern, Malcolm Delaney and Virginia Tech against Tyler Zeller and North Carolina. Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Thomas Robinson hits the bench with a couple of fouls, and Iowa State down by 4. And Garrett, they say it's a tie-up. It'll go to the possession arrow, and it'll stay with Iowa State. And Elijah Johnson, not sure what happened to him, but he's hurting. Like the right shoulder. He is really in some pain, and consider for a moment they're already without Travis Relaford, who they lost on Saturday with that twisted ankle.
But where they have depth is at the guard position, and what a luxury. It's unfortunate for Elijah Johnson to be hurt on the bench, but they can bring on experienced players like Terrell Reed and Brady Morningstar off the bench.
Marcus Morris the rebound. Tyrell Reed to Brady Morningstar, and now Little, who checked in and buries a 3. Mario Little, the senior from Chicago.
Okay, take your time. Go up the floor a couple times. It's a beautiful jump shot by Little. He's known more of a slasher, finisher around the basket. Really worked hard on his perimeter jump shot. Now, defensively, Iowa State has to guard him out on the perimeter.
Vanderbeek gets a 3. 7 for Jamie Vanderbeek, and Deontay Garrett doing a great job distributing. Paulo the rebound, leads the Cyclones into the front court. Closing in on the 8-minute mark, 4-point game here at Hilton. And a turnover. Reed didn't have numbers, but he tried it anyway.
I didn't like that shot. And in that situation, you can get a contested 3 anytime. Wait for your players, come down the floor, set it up. In a half-court set, Kansas has been able to get anything that they want on the offensive end. But every time Iowa State penetrates and gets into the lane, they get a great shot. But Deontay Garrett showing he can shoot the ball from the outside as well.
It's a 2, and he has 11. And now the fans come to life. And inside, Marcus Morris taking the contact.
Well, you can see Deontay Garrett get the ball into the middle, draw defenders, and find Vanderbeek wide open from 3-point range. And, hey, I can take it myself. I can shoot the ball from the outside. Deontay Garrett doing a terrific job on the offensive end.
2011 conference tip-off on ESPN.
Brian Burns studio, checking out the family of networks. #1 undefeated Duke on the road at Florida State. Blue Devils by 3 over on ESPN on the U. 20th ranked Kansas State up 6 now on Colorado. And of course, we're watching the 3rd ranked Jayhawks on ESPN2. Johnny Hubert.
All right, Ryan, thanks very much. Kansas and Duke, 2 of the 5 remaining unbeaten. Ohio State and Syracuse victorious earlier tonight. Ohio State escaping at Michigan. Syracuse a win at St. John's, and later on San Diego State in action. Good one here so far, 2-point game. And Iowa State has been led by Deontay Garrett, who's done a great job, senior from Milwaukee.
Well, he's been fantastic. He's a great penetrator. He's able to get the ball into the lane, and the thing that I like about him this year is they've given him a bigger role on the offensive end. They want him to be more aggressive, but it hasn't taken away from his passing ability and his ability to get after it defensively. And it looks like a missed free throw, and Iowa State is able to get the possession.
So Kansas by 3, and here's the pressure from the Jayhawks. Vanderbeek looking for some help, calls timeout. Fred Hoiberg, the mayor, back here at Iowa State. Quite a career here in Ames. Local guy, attended Ames High School, played 3 seasons at Iowa State for Johnny Orr in All-America. Iowa State's male athlete of the year, the Big 8 co-athlete of the year, and the Cyclones' 3rd all-time leading scorer. He was the 52nd overall pick in the '95 draft. Played 10 years for Indiana, Chicago, and Minnesota, and before taking over this job as the assistant GM and VP of basketball ops with the Minnesota Timberwolves, had his jersey retired in 1997.
Yeah, he was fun to play against in the NBA, and people know him more of a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. And
they had Christopherson ahead of the pack, and he couldn't finish.
And they have an advantage down low on the block. Terrell Reed's guarding the freshman, Calvin Godfrey. He has 2 offensive fouls. They've got to get the ball down low to him. He's a guy that can score down low on the block. And now they got Brady Morningstar on Vanderbeek.
Oh, fadeaway. Garrett short on that shot. Morningstar to Selby. Finger roll will go. That's gorgeous.
That's his game, John. He is fantastic in transition. I love the way that he's shooting the ball from the perimeter, but I like when he gets out on the fast break. He is a terrific finisher. See, Kansas is switching all ball screens and pick and roll, so you're going to have to make them play.
Anderson almost lost it, goes inside and gets his shot blocked by Markieff Morris. Selby a 3, and he'll shoot 3. Selby fouled by Darian Anderson. That's his first, and 16 foul at Iowa State.
Well, we talked about Selby running in transition and his ability to put the ball on the floor and take it to the hoop, but this time he spots up from 3 and draws contact and gets to the free throw line for 3 shots. He is so talented offensively, and he surprised me how good he is defensively as well. And I still don't think he's in rhythm offensively, trying to figure out college basketball, trying to figure out how his skills are going to complement his team. Remember, he set out the first 9 games of the regular season, didn't join the team until December 18th.
Bill Self said the one thing that Selby gives them is the guy that when the offense breaks down can do it by himself. A guy that can put it on the deck and get to the rim when the play isn't happening for them offensively.
Well, they need to put the ball in his hands more, especially when Tyshawn Taylor's the point guard. He has the ball in his hands a lot. I thought Selby would have the ball more, put him in a high pick and roll, be able, like a Sharon Collins, break down the defense, create a shot for himself, create a shot for his teammates.
Christopherson with Morningstar on him. Now Vanderbeek. There's a 3. Kansas very quietly is up its lead to 7, under 6 to go here first half. And a soft touch, Josh Selby, 11 points, and he has come out hot in this one.
A real good rhythm offensively, but it's been versatile. It's not just threes. It's putting the ball on the floor, mid-range game, putting on a clinic here in the first half.
Garrett, and a turnover. Kick up ahead, it's Morningstar. Taylor couldn't finish, but there to put it in is Mario Little.
What a boost offensively Mario Little has given Kansas here in the first half.
Iowa State takes timeout. A 9-0 Kansas run, and just like that, the lead is 11.
Kansas has been terrific in transition, and one of the reasons why they're good in transition, they've got all 5 guys running, but they're also a good passing team. They'll pass up good shots to get great shots, and that's where I think Kansas can be more effective, getting out in the fast break.
Now Saturday, ESPN shoots 3 games, noon Eastern. Catch Vanderbilt taking on Tennessee, and then at 2, Duke hosts Virginia, 8 Eastern. It's Vanderbilt and Tennessee. And the women will get together in that one. All 3 games part of conference tip-off on ESPN, also available online at ESPN3.com. So game day will be taking place there. You guys will all be together.
It's going to be a good, fun SEC matchup. We've had a chance to watch Vanderbilt at the beginning of the year in San Juan. Outstanding shooter John Jenkins, Jeffrey Taylor, Festus Ezeli down low on the block. It'll be another tough test for a Tennessee team. Very talented volunteer team that is struggling in SEC play.
Ezeli, the big guy from Vanderbilt, one of the more improved players in the country this year. Little now, Tyshawn Taylor, and they get 3 seconds underneath. .point game. What does Iowa State need to do offensively?
Well, one of the things defensively that Kansas has changed here in the first half, they switched all ball screens and pick and rolls, and they're not leaving their 3-point shooters, Christopherson and Van der Beeken. So whoever has the basketball is going to have to be a scorer. Drive into the lane, create contact, get to the free throw line, and Iowa State's got to do a better job getting out in transition.
Rebound underneath, and Markieff Morris will go to the line.
You know, John, you mentioned how thin Iowa State is. The next year, they could be one of the deepest teams in the Big 12. They've got transfer Royce White, transfer from Minnesota. He's going to be eligible next year. Chris Babb, a transfer from Penn State, excellent outside shooter. He has 2 years of eligibility left. He'll be ready next year. Chris Allen from Michigan State. It's been a fantastic role player starter for the Spartans the last 3 years. He'll be eligible next year. And Anthony Booker, a transfer from Southern Illinois. So they got a pretty talented scout team that's going to be available for them next year.
Yeah, challenging the starters every day in practice for sure. Fred Hoiberg's team, though, off to a good start this year at 13-3. Battle for the loose ball. And again, Kansas comes away with it. Tyshawn Taylor, Tyrone Reed feeds the post, and Marcus Morris is fouled. Well, there they are, the team in waiting. Royce White and company. They'll be ready next year. Fred Hoiberg's team down 11.
ESPN, your NBA destination. Friday, 2 top teams in the Western Conference meet in a crucial battle atop their division. The veteran Spurs have surprised the league with the best record thus far. Now the Mavs ride into San Antonio looking to take down their Lone Star State rivals. Then the Blazers head to Phoenix to take on Steve Nash, Vince Carter, and the Suns. Friday, coverage of Mavs Spurs begins at 7:30 on ESPN. Then Blazers Suns at 10:30 on ESPN and ESPN 3D.
Brian Burns studio coming up at the half. I'll be joined by Andy Katz. 5 unbeatens left in college basketball, all in action tonight, including #1 Duke on the road at Florida State, plus in the Big East, 4th-ranked Syracuse, 5th-ranked Pitt on the road. Would they survive? Find out at the half, guys.
All right, Ryan, thanks very much. Deontay Garrett and Iowa State had a bit of a drought of late, close to within a point, and now it's an 11-point game, and Marcus Morris is at the line.
Well, one of the problems offensively for Iowa State is they only have one guy that can consistently create shots and make shots for himself and for his teammates, and that's Deontay Garrett. Everybody else, they need to be set up offensively. And when Deontay Garrett gets into the lane, Kansas not coming off those shooters, and it's finding it very difficult, particularly in a half-court set for the Cyclones to score offensively.
So a 13-point advantage now. Biggest lead of the night for the Jayhawks. Iowa State has never led in this one.
And also because Kansas is switching all ball screens and pick and roll, that pick and pop is being taken away, but Vander Beeken still is able to rise up and knock down that three. A great jump shooter at the power forward position.
Nicely done, Vander Beeken tapping that one out of bounds. Oh, almost got Jordan Raley, and he's lucky that was not an intentional foul.
Kansas has some history with throwing elbows earlier in the season against Cal.
And again, Kansas, the Jayhawks really asserting themselves down low. The Cyclones with no answer for the Morris twins. That foul on Jordan Raley. .313 to go. 5 team fouls on the Jayhawks, 9 on the Cyclones.
And that's why I think Iowa State has to come up with a different game plan on how they're going to guard the post, because not only does Kansas score on the block, they also get to the free throw line 23 times a game. So you talk about the thin front line of Iowa State. They can't afford Vander Beeken and Edgem and all these guys to get into foul trouble. That's why I've been surprised here in the first half that Iowa State defensively has not played a zone.
Garrett with Taylor on him. Behind the back and into the paint, Garrett hangs, can't roll it home. And the rebound, Marquise Morris, and then the pass deflected.
Good hustle by Jordan Raley. That was set up by Jordan Raley. His hustle, keeping the ball alive, and Deontay Carrot hits the three in the corner. John, this is how you get back into the game. You hustle. You get on the floor, and Jordan Raley, terrific job keeping the ball alive. And for an Iowa State team that was struggling offensively, Deontay Garrett knocks down the three and gives the Cyclones a little bit of life on the offensive end.
Well, the crowd has been energized from the get-go, but Kansas came out hot. And the Cyclones got to within a point. A goal down here at Hilton Coliseum. Hilton Magic, they call it. And for years, one of the toughest places to play in the Big 12. I mentioned Larry Brown never won here. Danny Manning never won here. Deontay Garrett doing his best to try and knock off Kansas from the ranks of the unbeaten. There's Danny Manning. Danny and the Miracles winning it all in '88. Jumper wouldn't go there for Marcus Morris. Christopherson. And Anderson kicks out. Here's a three. Christopherson has not scored in this one. And he averages about 15 a game.
He's still not 100%. Coming back from an elbow injury, suffered a couple weeks ago. But he is a fantastic shooter from three-point range that has been unable to shoot the ball here in the first half for Iowa State.
They get Raley with the foul. It's his second. The Cyclones thin. Fred Hoiberg's played 8 in this one, and again, usually only plays 7, and they got 5 guys with 2 fouls in this game.
Well, I think the #1 reason why always, every year, that the Kansas big guys are efficient in the post, great passers, versatile, is because Danny Manning's over there on the bench. He was one of those players throughout Kansas, throughout his collegiate career, 15 years in the NBA. He works with those big guys.
Rarely knocks down a jumper. Averaging 2 a game and a bucket there. Inside. They continue to isolate Markieff and Marcus down low. That time it was Markieff and Raley picking up his 3rd.
It's been the same play throughout the first half. Marcus or Markieff Morris or Thomas Robinson being able to catch the ball right on the block. You can't play defense like that. Either you got to front them, make them throw it high-low, or you stand behind them, double-team them on catch, and make him throw the ball outside of the post. Every time he has caught the ball on the block, they have scored or they've gotten to the free throw line. And they're getting the big guys for Iowa State into foul trouble.
Marcus and Markieff, the twins from Philadelphia, as Markieff knocks that one down.
You know, we always talk about guards moving well without the basketball, but Kansas big guys do that as well. You know, the way they post them up, it's not a straight post up. They'll bring them from high post to low post, from one block to the other. They do a terrific job of working hard to get their position down low on the block.
And again, Bill Self says the Morris twins are their 2 best passers. For Stopperson, it's a turnover, but first a foul. We get Tyshawn Taylor with that foul. And that is #1 on Taylor. Team foul #6 on Kansas, 10 on Iowa State. For Stopperson inside. How about that little jump hook?
I can't shoot a 3, but I can shoot a right-hand jump hook. Okay, Christopherson.
First 2 of the game for Christopherson. Air ball there, but the rebound gathered in by Marcus Morris. Morris kicks out. Vanderbeek in the rebound. Garrett backs up for his 2nd and launches. And then the back tap, and Iowa State comes up with it. They'll hold for the last shot, down 6.
Late clock situation, one-on-one with Deontay Garrett, or they'll have a high pick and roll with Vanderbeek, hoping to get penetration, or Vanderbeek popping for the 3. We'll start this play at 7 seconds.
4 on the clock. Garrett losing the handle. Ball on the deck, and that's the way the first half will end. Markieff and Marcus combining for 19 and 11, and Kansas takes a 6-point lead to the break. Time now to send it back to our college basketball halftime report with the Jayhawks up 6. We turn it over to Ryan Burr. Welcome back to Wednesday Night Hoops, presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Part of conference tip-off, and here at Hilton Coliseum at the break, and Kansas and Iowa State getting together. Kansas leading by 6. Now you look at the unbeaten teams, and already Syracuse going on the road, beating St. John's. Ohio State escaping on the road, a 4-point win over Michigan. How about Duke trailing at the half in Tallahassee, and just underway San Diego State and UNLV. Our score here at Hilton Coliseum, the Cyclones looking for a little Hilton magic, but trailing it at home by 6. Hi, folks. John Sciambi, Hubert Davis with you. Well, Kansas jumped out early and held on to the lead the entire way, but Iowa State just didn't have an answer for the Morris twins.
They don't have an answer. Marcus and Markieff Morris are, from an offensive standpoint, I think the best big guys in the country because of their versatility and the way that they can score. And they've been fantastic in the first half, in large part because they've gotten great position down low on the block. Every time they catch the ball, they either score, get fouled, get to the free throw line, or open up shooters on the perimeter. You can see the versatility of being able to put the ball on the floor and get out in transition. And they have had a fantastic first half and put the front line of Iowa State into foul trouble in the first half.
Yeah, Iowa State, the Cyclones with 5 different players with at least 2 fouls, and Jordan Raley with 3.
Well, we talked about that we were surprised that Iowa State had not played zone in the first half. First possession in the second half, they come out in a 2-3 zone.
Taylor to the rim. Offensive foul. And good work by Vanderbeeken to get into position. And that foul on Taylor, his second.
Actually, that's what turned the game around in the Michigan game against Kansas. Michigan went to a zone halfway through the second half, and then Kansas started to settle for contested jump shots and allow the Wolverines to get back into this basketball game. Good move by Iowa State defensively going to the zone.
Kansas in that win against Michigan, just 4-24 from 3. Vanderbeeken from deep. And that one deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Iowa State, 11 on the shot clock.
You know, Iowa State does a great job of getting shots out of bounds plays underneath the basket. Look for Christopherson. He had a nice little right-hand jump hook earlier in the first half, but they like to get him pin down plays from the perimeter.
Catch and shoot. Vanderbeeken couldn't hit. And Iowa State 4-18 from 3. Now right there, Marcus to Markieff. We told you how adept they are at finding one another. And a shove underneath. Doug Simons charges that foul to Markieff Morris, and that's his second.
What makes them so efficient on the offensive end is they're great passers. It's a pretty nice luxury to have your power forward be able to put the ball on the floor, not charge, make a play, and find his teammate underneath the basket. Good play from Marcus Morris.
Deontay Garrett in the first half, 14 points, 5 of 10 from the floor. Anderson, and now it's Christopherson. And Garrett hits a 3. Deontay Garrett with his 3rd 3 of the game. Reed not able to answer.
Deontay Garrett needs some help offensively. Christopherson needs to knock down some perimeter jump shots. Jake Anderson needs to be able to get the ball into the lane. It can't be all Deontay Garrett here in the second half if they want to beat the 3rd-ranked team in the country in Kansas.
Marcus Morris to the rim. Okay. That's 6'9", 235 coming right at you. And a shot blocked by Markieff. Here they come the other way. Taylor a finger roll.
I mean, name another team that can get out in transition like that. I mean, you have your power forward and center running the break and being able to finish, handle the basketball.
Anderson's 3 wouldn't go. Got to fight for the loose ball. Markieff Morris comes up with it. Selby. Tip would go. And Deontay Garrett controls. Iowa State down 9. This game has followed a pretty steady pattern as Garrett is able to hit. Kansas will extend the lead to 9, 10, 11. And then Iowa State a little mini run. As Kansas continues to keep them at bay, and a carry here and a turnover. It'll be Iowa State basketball.
You know, Kansas is so effective in transition, but normally you don't have your power forward or your center filling the lanes and being able to put the ball on the floor and finish. That is the luxury of this Kansas basketball team.
Christopherson gets one to go. His first 3 of the game. Came in shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
It's a great opportunity for Iowa State. Marcus and Markieff Morris are on the bench right now. Great opportunity to make a run.
And they get 3 seconds. Kansas State is led by as many as 13. Bill Self, his group on the road for their Big 12 opener. Iowa State, meanwhile, they lost their Big 12 opener Saturday at Nebraska. Marcus and Markieff looking on. Cyclones down 4. Here's Darian Anderson. Into the lane. Had it knocked away, and they get the foul. That foul will be on Thomas Robinson. It's his 3rd. Just about a full house here at Hilton Coliseum. John Shambi, Hubert Davis, Iowa State, and Kansas. The Jayhawks, 3rd-ranked team in the country and one of 5 remaining unbeatens. All 5 in action tonight. Syracuse a winner. Ohio State a winner. San Diego State just underway at home against UNLV. And right now Duke on the road trailing by 9 at Florida State. And here we go. It's a 2-point game in Ames. Selby, the freshman. Johnson swings the Morning Star.
Without Marcus and Markieff Morris in the game, Josh Selby has to be the guy offensively.
Oh, Robinson.
Good offensive rebound.
Big rebound. Garrett almost lost the handle there.
Nice to see Kansas's Elijah Johnson back in the game. Took a hard fall, got a wide open Van Der Beeken in a pick and pop situation from 3.
Good hands there by Edgem. And now Morning Star. Selby a 3. Got it. Kansas calls timeout. And it's a 4-point game. Huge 3 by Josh Selby to quiet the crowd. Good work by Deontay Garrett and Jamie Van Der Beeken.
Well, Iowa State runs a ton of pick and roll situations. They didn't switch. Van Der Beeken wide open from 3.
2011 conference tip-off on ESPN2.
I'm waiting for the world's best to walk my fairways and renew my tradition. First and second round coverage of the Masters, coming in April on ESPN.
Join Boomer and the gang for Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
The Australian Open coverage begins Sunday at 6:30 on ESPN2.
Ryan Burr in studio. Upset brewing, Tallahassee, Florida, the Seminoles. Terrence Shannon with the putback. And right now it's a 9-point game over on ESPN. 15:37 to go. Number 1 Duke in serious trouble, guys.
All right, Ryan, so we'll keep you posted on that one. Florida State, excellent defensive team. Our game here in Ames, Kansas by 4. Christopherson. And a short on that shot.
Yeah, but that's a good move. Good aggressive move by Christopherson. And this is where I think Iowa State can be very effective in transition.
Garrett a three. Morning start. Marcus Morris, and he's fouled hard, goes down to the deck. As Melvin Edgem got him, that's his third. Now Kansas on the move, and Marcus Morris will shoot.
Wednesday Night Hoops on ESPN2.
Big Monday boasts a quadruple header loaded with 7 top 20 teams, including the number 4 Orange versus number 5 Pitt and third-ranked Kansas.
Oh, goodness!
The action begins at 3:30 on ESPN, the home court of Big Monday.
It's the thing to do in Ames. You know, when I was growing up, Cyclone basketball was where you had to be every night on game day. You know, the town shut down. And, you know, Johnny established Hilton Magic. Again, a lot of that had to do with how he played. Up-tempo, and you know, when teams came in here, you know, it's pretty rare that they walked out with a win.
Well, that's where he'd sit up there in section 215. Fred Hoiberg grew up about 4 blocks away from this gym. Was a ball boy here at Iowa State. Talked about the tradition that Johnny Orr established. Johnny Orr honored earlier today with a bronze statue over 7 feet tall. And then Johnny's Sports Bar here at Hilton. Our game, Kansas on top by 5. John Shelby, Hubert Davis. And the Morris twins have been a big part of the story in this one.
And that's the one weakness for Marcus Morris is he doesn't shoot a high percentage from the free throw line, but he has been fantastic down low on the block.
Christopherson can't hit, and flying in is Markeith with the rebound, and then Marcus comes up with it. Just cannot get that bucket to push them over the top.
They only have one guy in Deontay Garrett that can consistently create his own shot, and everybody else needs help.
Feed inside, just too easy. Markeith getting it too deep.
Down low on the block, and that's been the answer. Poor defense guarding the post. The post players for Kansas has gotten great position down low on the block, and I'm not understanding why Iowa State went away from that zone. They did a great job of keeping the ball outside the lane defensively early in the second half.
Man, the twins from Philadelphia everywhere. Down on the blocks offensively, on the defensive boards, and here's Selby.
He's played well in this game, and offensive rebounding, good drive by Selby, and Marcus getting great position down low underneath the basket and getting another offensive rebound put back.
Marcus Morris with 16 points and 11 rebounds in this one. Good feed underneath as Anderson hits Edgem.
And I think he's the one guy for Iowa State that can have some success driving the ball into the lane. He's an experienced player, can put the ball on the floor, get to the free throw line. He can create. He needs to help out Deontay Garrett on the offensive end.
Good hands by Garrett, knocked away. And Morning Star. Reed able to hit Tyro Reed. Excellent shooter. And that one knocked out of bounds, a turnover. Kansas basketball.
You see the position that the big guys for Kansas have gotten all throughout the game, inside the lane and then finding good position underneath the lane. Iowa State thin up front, and Kansas has been dominating on the boards on both ends of the floor.
Mike Stewart came in to make the call and said that Marcus Morris touched it last, so Iowa State ball. 10-point game now.
In times like this, especially for Deontay Garrett, and miss guys like Craig Brockins down low on the post. He had one more year of eligibility, but left to go early to the NBA. He's now playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he was a guy that could give you consistent points down low on the block and also help you out on the defensive end, rebounding the basketball as well.
They lost two very good players. Marcus Gilstrap was very good last year.
They've lost a lot of talent over the last 5 years. Tashib Carr transferred to St. Joe's. Sean Taggart, remember, played a big role on Memphis' team that got to the final game against Kansas in 2008. And Wesley Johnson, who starred at Syracuse last year, played at Iowa State as well and transferred. A lot of talent moving from Ames and going other places in the country.
Oh, man, Marcus Morris.
Don't show us everything.
Too much, 18 points now. Crowd really quiet now here at Hilton. And they get the foul there on Elijah Johnson. Timeout on the court. The Morris twins making a huge impact. Marcus Morris underneath, and he has been tough to deal with for the Cyclones.
Brian Burr in studio, checking in on #1 unbeaten Duke. Last time the Blue Devils lost, March 3rd last year to Maryland. Florida State's Terrence Shannon up and good. Currently a 3-point game over on ESPN, 42-39. San Diego State, one of the 5 unbeatens left in America, and they are currently up 3 on UNLV. Just a reminder, coming up next, Game 3 of our triple header, Nevada and Idaho. For now, let's go back to John Hubert.
All right, Ryan, thanks very much. Our game here, it's been all about the fellas from Philadelphia, the Morris twins. They've been great. Mark Heath and Marcus.
Josh Selby has been great out on the perimeter as well. Has been extremely versatile, not just from 3, but getting out in transition, put the ball on the floor. And the one answer offensively for Iowa State has been Deontay Garrett. The problem is he needs help. He needs other guys, other teammates to step up on the offensive end. He can't do it himself against Kansas.
Deontay Garrett now with 21 to lead all scorers.
And defensively, Iowa State back into that zone. They found some success at the beginning of the second half, and for whatever reason went away from it.
Loose ball, Anderson comes up with it. Vanderbeek put it on the floor and lost it. Robinson and Morningstar. And a travel. Got a little fancy there.
Good teams are fundamental. Good teams make the easy play, and in that situation, all you had to do is pass it back and forth to Elijah Johnson. You have a wide open layup. No need for a behind the back fancy pass. Created a turnover and took away a transition point. And Stopperson trying to help out Garrett on the offensive end, try to get going from the perimeter. Kansas offensively has not scored against this 2-3 zone of Iowa State.
Inside, and Morris will go to the line. Marcus, another trip to the stripe. Well, action continues at ESPN's Thursday Night Showcase. First, 7 Eastern, Purdue facing Minnesota. Then 9 Eastern, Virginia Tech takes on North Carolina. Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price, part of Conference Tip-Off on ESPN. Purdue, good-looking team. That Painter's group play very hard. Zaquan Moore and Juwan Johnson, as good a duo as there is in the Big Ten.
You and I saw Minnesota earlier this year at the San Juan tournament, and very impressive. They won the championship, and from a roster standpoint, they're a mess right now. DeVoe Joseph, talented guard, decided to transfer. He's going to Oregon. Al Nolan got injured at the beginning of the year. He's back healthy, and then Trevor Mbakwe, a guy that can rebound and score underneath the basket to team up with Ralph Sampson III and Colton Iverson. He's out of the lineup right now, and they don't know when he will return.
And Bakwe has been Tubby Smith's most consistent player. And arrested recently for violating his probation.
Good pass.
And a nice cut to the goal for Deontay Garrett, who's got 23. Markeith, little jump hook. That won't go. Look at Little underneath. And he gets fouled. Well, Mario Little doesn't quite have the size of either of the Morris twins, but doing tough work on the boards.
Yeah, I really like him in this lineup. He's a undersized power forward, probably a power forward in the mid-major level, but he's a guy that really can rebound the basketball, likes to score inside the paint. And I mentioned before, I like him because he can play that small forward position. I think that's the one position that Kansas is missing. They have a bunch of guards, but they don't have that definitive small forward. Maybe Travis Relaford that can defend and rebound multiple players and also finish around the basket.
Talking about like a 6'6" slasher or something like that.
Exactly.
One out of two there for Mario Little.
And he's not looking to score. He just wants to be out there, set screens, rebound, do all the dirty work.
Vanderbeek answers with a three. Back on their feet at Hilton. Taylor can't hit. Vanderbeek in the board. Christopherson now puts it on the floor and uses the glass. And Kansas will call timeout. It's a 4-point game in Ames. How about Christopherson putting it on the floor? You don't see that a ton from him. He likes to shoot the three.
Well, that's one of the things he's been working on. He's a spot-up shooter, but this year has been working hard, putting the ball on the floor, has a nice floater in the lane, and we talked about how consistent Deontay Garrett has been for Iowa State offensively, but over the last 3 or 4 possessions, other guys have stepped up. Vanderbeek has knocked down the three, and Christopherson put the ball on the floor for the floater, and it's brought Iowa State within 4 with 8:40 to go in the second half.
11-3 Cyclones run. Saturday, ESPN shoots 3 games your way. Noon Eastern, catch Vanderbilt going up against Tennessee. And then at 2 Eastern, Virginia taking on #1 Duke. And then the women, it's Vanderbilt, #6 Tennessee. That's coming your way at 8 Eastern. Game day coming to you from Knoxville. Unbeatens. Duke in some trouble. Second half action in Tallahassee, and they are down 3. Syracuse and Ohio State have already won, and early on San Diego State leading UNLV. So all 5 of the remaining unbeatens in action tonight.
Iowa State defensively has had a lot of great success when they have played the zone. Kansas has not been successful offensively going up against a zone. Here, Iowa State goes back to man-to-man, and they find Marcus Morris underneath the basket once again to get to the free throw line or score. Weak double team. You have to commit. Are you going to double team? If you are, the weak side defender has to come down, take away that pass, make Kansas throw the ball back out to the perimeter. Poor man-to-man defense for Iowa State.
They're so good at finding one another, Marcus and Markeith. Marcus knocks that one down. That's the 23rd free throw that Kansas has attempted. Iowa State has tried 6 from the line in this game.
You have to try to take away something. I mean, for Iowa State doesn't have the talent or the personnel to be able to match up man-to-man versus Kansas. So either take away the perimeter players or take away the post, but you have to commit to stopping one part of Kansas's offensive game.
Garrett hangs, can't hit. Markeith eyes it, can't hit. Anderson the board. Iowa State down 6. Christopherson. That's a 3. Scott Christopherson. Nope, they say it's a 2. Now, if you're Iowa State,
that's not the answer defensively. He can hit that shot.
Yep.
That's his shot. 15-foot jump shot from Marcus or Markieff Morris. That's a high percentage shot for them. You have to get the ball out of their hands. Make somebody else shoot.
Anderson with a 3. It's a goal down here at Hilton. And Iowa State trying to pull off the upset.
Defensively, if you're Iowa State, the two guys you want to shoot are Tyshawn Taylor from 3 and Brady Morningstar. He's been struggling shooting the ball from the perimeter.
Selby way off, but it kicks to Morningstar. Now Selby inside, gives off to Markeith, gets the rebound and puts it in. Just too easy on the boards for Kansas. Garrett couldn't hit, and the finish by Edgem would go. Wow. Point-blank chance for Melvin Edgem. Iowa State with a great chance at the other end. And Marcus Morris to the rim.
That's the same play they have ran over the last 5 possessions. High pick and roll, no rotation to Marcus Morris at the top of the key. Either he knocks down that 15-foot jump shot or puts the ball on the floor.
Garrett couldn't hit. Selby bumps into his own man, turns it over. Under 6 to go here in Ames. Garrett a 3. And Garrett can't save Kansas basketball. Marcus Morris tying a career high. He's got 26.
Well, it's wide open. You can see the versatility. Being able to put the ball on the floor, miss the charge, and still score. He's getting it done, Marcus Morris.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Brian Burns studio, #1 Duke on the road at Florida State and in trouble. Derwin Kitchen, game high 18 for the Seminoles. Florida State by 4, 7 minutes to game go. Game once again over on ESPN. Just a reminder, coming up next, Jeremy Geiger, Nevada, taking on Idaho next on ESPN2. 21 minutes from now, back to a good one, Ames, Iowa, guys.
Well, the Morris brothers have been tremendous, Ryan. #3, Kansas, unbeaten. They're 15-0 coming in, and they lead it by 7. Marcus with those numbers, both 26 and 11 tie career highs. And this is the 3rd time that both twins have had a double-double in the same game in their careers. Markeith inside, off the mark. Christopherson the board.
And Marcus Morris has been fantastic on both ends of the floor, but he has had help from Iowa State defensively, allowing him to get position down low on the block, getting second chance points, getting out in transition. Iowa State defensively has not done a good job of taking him out of his game.
Kansas will slow it down. It's in the hands of Tyshawn Taylor. Little a 3. And a rebound ripped down by Edgem. Garrett off the glass and good. He has 25.
Yeah, but that was set up by Vander Beeken. He faked like he was going to set the screen for Deontay Garrett, slipped, went to the hole, and actually screened his man and allowed Garrett to get an easy layup to the lane.
Feed the post. Garrett there to double team. Little inside, gets it to go. And a big bucket there. Hubert real quick running at Tyshawn Taylor. That man put it on the floor. You want him to shoot that,
You want
right?
him to shoot the basketball. They did a great job of getting the ball out of the post. Slow rotation to Tyshawn Taylor. You want him to shoot that jump shot. Over-rotated, he put the ball on the floor and found Mario Little underneath the basket.
Oh, the fadeaway by Anderson will go. It's a 2.
You see, those are things that Iowa State, a young basketball team, is going to get better at. Those are just little things that make the difference in winning a game against a Kansas team.
Lead back to 5 for Kansas. And they get the foul on Markieff Morris. That's his 3rd. Well, here in Ames, it's a gold out. They're looking for a little Hilton magic. 3:22 to go. We'll see if Iowa State can pull it off.
Brian Burr in studio. What a night it is turning out to be on the family of networks over on ESPN. #1 unbeaten Duke down 4 to Florida State. On ESPNU, 20th ranked Kansas State at home, now down 1 to Colorado with 5 to go. And how about our game in Ames? Iowa State with the basketball. Just a reminder, coming up next, it's Dario Hunt and Nevada taking on Idaho less than 16 minutes from now. Now back to a good one. Guys?
Yes, Iowa State basketball and the Cyclones down by 5. Move to the hoop, shot block. Anderson contested there, and Kansas, those long arms, the big bodies, it's been trouble all night for the Cyclones. Marcus Morris. And a foul underneath on Mario Little. It's Little with his 2nd team foul. Number 6 on Kansas. 4 team fouls on the Cyclones.
A play that has been working for Iowa State here in the second half is pick and roll situation with Vanderbeeken with Christopherson in the corner. They can't leave the shooter, and it's allowed Garrett to be able to get the ball and drive straight to the rim.
Christopherson, kick out, Anderson. And a rebound tracked down by Morningstar. Iowa State has never led in this game. Jayhawks will run a little clock here, and timeout Bill Self. Well, coming up on Monday, it's the 25th anniversary of Martin Luther King Day, and on Friday at 6 Eastern, ESPN presents a national town hall meeting. The show will focus on the current image of the black athlete from a variety of perspectives, consisting of athletes, coaches, and entertainers, including the show executive producer Spike Lee. So again, that's coming up 6 Eastern on Friday. Our game here, 2:10 to go, and Kansas on top by 5. John Shambi and Hubert Davis with you. Iowa State just has not been able to get over the hump, and the Morris twins have been the main part of the story for Kansas.
Well, they have been, and they've been so efficient on the offensive end, and I love seeing their versatility, not just down low on the block, but also their ability to play at the high post, pass to different of their teammates, and it's just been fun to watch them inside and out, on back, on both ends of the block, and with the help of Josh Selby on the perimeter. Offensively, Kansas has been very efficient.
Impressive how well they pass the basketball, especially to one another, as we touched on. Marcus has matched career highs with 26 points and 11 rebounds. Selby thought about it. 8 on the shot clock. And Marcus Morris.
Like shoot around. That's the shot. Those are the type of shots you take and shoot around earlier in the day just to get warm. I mean, he will make 8 out of 10 of those shots in a game.
A new career high with 28. Gary can't hit. And that's a big miss. The deficit is 7 as we close in on 90 seconds to go. And Tyrell Reed handling here. Tell you what, tonight we talked about the Morris twins, and early it was Selby. Hubert, the return of Mario Little in this game. 8 points, 4 boards off the bench.
Tremendous
Did a great
energy.
job.
You're right.
And there's Markeith Morris on the lob there. And Markeith having himself a game of 16 points. Christopherson can't get the triple. Rebound ripped down by Marcus Morris, who now has career highs in both points and rebounds. 9-point advantage for Kansas. We take a look at our Reese's perfect play, and the Twins perfectly in sync.
Oh, they've caught the ball. They see the versatility at the high post, putting the ball into the lane, drawing defenders, and then Markeith Morris finding that open spot underneath the basket. Both of them have had a field day down low on the block.
Christopherson commits the foul. And now 16 fouls on the Cyclones. So it'll be out of bounds. 50.5 to go in the game. 35 shot clock reset. And again, this crowd, they were edgy early on. They were waiting. And that burst to put Iowa State in the lead just never quite came, and that's a credit to Kansas. A reminder, up next here on ESPN2, Nevada and Idaho from Moscow. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham standing by.
We've been talking about them, how efficient offensively Kansas has been, but they've been pretty good on the defensive end as well. And I think they can get better. You know, we talked about the depth at the guard position. They get Travis Relaford back, and Elijah Johnson wasn't seriously hurt. He got back into the lineup. This is a group that can really make it hard for opposing point guards to bring up the basketball and allow them to get out in transition offensively.
Anderson lays it in, and timeout Iowa State. Let's send it back to the studio and Ryan Burr.
All right, John, once again over on ESPN, #1 Duke, undefeated on the year, losing by 4 with 3:15 to go. Last time the Dukies lost March 3rd against Maryland of 2010. Since then, it's been 25 straight, including a national title with the win over Butler. Duke down by 4, 3 minutes to go. Once again, the game over on ESPN. Of course, we're watching Kansas now up 7 on Iowa State with 44 to go. John?
Hubert, you look at that game, and Duke and Florida State under 3 to go, and that game's in the 50s. So I guess you'd say if Florida State was going to pull off the upset, that is about where you'd expect the game to be. They'd want it to be a defensive struggle.
They're an outstanding defensive team. You can make a good argument that they're the best defensive team in the country. The answer for them, or the question mark, is can they score? Over the last year and a half, without Tony Douglas, who is now with the New York Knicks, they haven't found a consistent score.
Oh, shot block there. Guess who underneath? And one.
Wow.
Marcus Morris have a night. 30 points, and he'll go to the line. A chance at a three-point play, plus another rebound.
Wow, he has been so much fun to watch, and you can see his pursuit, offensive rebounds, and there's not a play on the offensive end that he hasn't made tonight. Hit the 15-foot jump shot. Has he hit a three? He's put the ball on the floor. He can pass. He can score on the block, either block with either hand. Rebound. Stay out of foul trouble.
31 and 13, both career highs. Yeah, it's unbelievable. He hasn't hit a three. I don't know what happened to him tonight.
He's got to work on that.
Yeah.
Come on, Danny Manning.
And underneath, Anderson plus tax. He'll go to the line. Well, Danny Manning never won here as a player. And Hilton Coliseum now home to their new coach, Fred Hoiberg, the mayor. Dubbed that just as he was about to be a freshman in college. Got so much acclaim as a high school player. Doug Collins, a player at Iowa State, nicknamed him that. And he said then Dick Vitale got a hold of it, and then it started to explode.
No way.
Dickie V, what?
No way.
It's pretty funny. Fred Hoiberg, as they call him, the mayor. Well, the real mayor of Ames is Ann Campbell, and the story goes that her brother got her a gag Christmas gift with a T-shirt that on the front said "the other mayor" and on the back had number 32, and it said "not Fred." Fred Hoiberg has gotten his team off to a good start, but going to fall to 0-2 in the Big 12. As Garrett uses the glass. And Deontay Garrett now with 27. Now for Fred Hoiberg, growing up in Ames, we mentioned 4 blocks away, this is his dream job.
You know, for me, dream job, great opportunity. You know, I grew up 4 or 5 blocks from here. I used to walk to the games. I was a ball boy, and, you know, to play in front of these people who I feel are the most passionate fans in the country, and now to get a chance to coach in front of those same people, it's outstanding.
Jersey retired in 1997. And, of course, used to come and watch this team play. He had no experience as a coach, but said he thought there was a chance he might do it. There is some coaching genes, if you will. His grandfather, Jerry Bush, a Hall of Famer, was a coach at Nebraska and was with the Timberwolves when he took the job.
Yeah, he played 10 years in the NBA, and the reason why he stopped was because the doctors found a heart condition that had to make him stop. He might still be playing because his last year in the NBA, he led the league in NBA three-point percentage and went to the front office for 5 years, and then now head coaching here at Iowa State. And you talk about coaching experience. He did a great job hiring Coach Bobby Lutz, head coach for 12 years for Charlotte. So he has a guy on his staff that is used to making decisions at the head coaching level.
Well, the game down to 5. And Johnny Orr, his mentor, honored before the game. Earlier in the day, they unveiled that bronze statue over 7 feet tall. Johnny Orr, great coach at Iowa State and as well at Michigan, but he really got the tradition going for the Cyclones. And the mentor for Fred Hoiberg.
That's some good players here.
Yeah.
Jeff Hornacek, Jeff Grayer.
Well, what a night for this guy at the line, Marcus Morris. He and his brother Mark Keith, quite a handful. Second half, though, 21 points for Marcus, including 7 of 7 from the floor.
He's shooting the ball well from the free throw line, and that's probably the weakest part of his game. Shoots in the mid-60s from the free throw line.
3 won't go out of bounds, 4.4 left. And Iowa State basketball. Vanderbeeken, and he's fouled. And Bill Self can't believe it. .2 to go, and Vanderbeeken is going to shoot 3 free throws, and Markieff Morris will come back in the game.
Marcus Morris made one mistake tonight. Only one.
(33 and 13), both career highs for Marcus. The Twins from Philadelphia just too much to handle in this one. .5 to go, and they get the foul there as Markieff Morris will march down to the other end. Well, Fred Hoiberg, he knew his team was really going to have a difficult time on the boards. It played out that way. On the boards, in the paint. And in stretches they hit shots, but just not able to come up with quite enough offense, and then as well not able to get stops on the Morris twins.
But I think overall, when you look at Iowa State basketball, I think it's on good foundation. I mean, we talked about the last 5 years and the transition, not only guys transferring, but injuries and guys being suspended. And off of last year's team, they only had 4 guys returning, 9 new players. So good foundation with Coach Holberg, and this is an Iowa State team that's going to regain that magic in Hilton Coliseum.
So Fred Hoiberg's team goes down to defeat Kansas, now 16-0. Bill Self's group with an 84-79 win. This has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Hubert Davis and our entire crew, I'm John Champe. Time to head back to the studio now, and we turn it over to Ryan Burr.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Good win for Kansas on the road. Time